And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. If you're in the States, it's the day before Thanksgiving, so I hope everybody is having a great week so far. I am very excited because today is the day that quite literally has been months in the works, and we are going to finally be printing on this Trident. So I'm going to bring everyone up to speed on what we did last week very quickly, a couple things I noticed, and then we are going to get right into it. So I did want to take a quick moment to say hello to a few people here. Let's see, Maurice, thank you for 4 months. I also saw just a moment ago we got a new member, Striker. I'm going to do some air horn action. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Who's all here today? We've got Elizabeth made it. Hi, welcome. Jose's here, Mitchits, Aaron. We are printing, Aaron. The printer gods shined down on us last week. I thought for sure when we powered this on, things were going to be not working correctly because of some issues we ran into with the wiring, and everything pretty much just worked, and it was spooky. So yes, we are going to be printing. Time to gain some hibernation weight. Yeah, we've got, Aaron works at a Costco, and they gave us a massive, what we think is a 20-pound frozen turkey. For me, Aaron, and Jackson, we're going to try to like mince some of the turkey up. So there's going to be a ridiculous amount of food. I anticipate tomorrow will be full of cooking, eating, and sleeping. So let's see, who else is all here? Hey, Maker Viking, Dude's here. Lisa, I think I said hi. If I didn't, hi. 1060's here. PF. GPs is here. All that practice is paying off. Yes. Haroon, welcome. So yeah, let's quickly touch on a couple of things here. So for anyone that hasn't been here for any of these, this is the SIBOOR Trident 300mm kit. It is an older PF. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. I will do, let's do some air horn, and we'll do some cheers. Thank you very much. That totally threw me off. This is an older variant of the kit, so they've definitely made some tweaks, but there were some small issues throughout the build, relatively small stuff. Like when we were doing the frame, a couple of the holes that were punched out still had some of the aluminum inside of the channels, which I didn't see, which they've since corrected. There was, what did we run into? We had the XY PCB for the steppers. The X limit switch was bent on it, even though I don't think that was something from factory. I think that was probably something that happened in shipping. What were the other things? There was that. Oh, the big gear for the stealth burner, or for the clockwork, was their older gear, which was not the correct gear. They have swapped. We ran into this on their V0.2 build, and they had swapped it out and had changed all kits. Apparently, they didn't go back to some of the older kits in their inventory and change them. So I had plenty of spares because I ran into the issue with the V0.2, but I let them know about it, and I let them know about all these things, and they basically apologized and said they were going to make sure that these things didn't happen moving forward. Brian, thank you for becoming a member. We're doing air horns for everyone today. I don't know if they released a second revision yet, and so the first 3 things weren't the end of the world to me. Like the extrusion thing was not a big deal once I figured out it was more of an annoyance, and so I let them know so that way they can hopefully include in their QC line, double checking that the pockets are cleared on these extrusions. The XY limit switch thing was, if I was able to order a separate one from Chamois or XR Bunker. But if that didn't happen, I was just going to run sensorless, so that also wasn't a big deal. The biggest deal to me was the wiring, and I didn't realize it until last week's stream, but somebody at the factory made a whoopsie and basically combined some stuff from their Trident kit and their 2.4 kit. So like this wiring guide that we were referencing it says SIBOOR Voron 2.4 stealth burner wiring of Spider 2.3. And I did see that from the beginning, but thought that maybe because of how similar the wiring was, they just were using the same thing. But I don't believe that's the case anymore. I believe what happened was when it came down to the electronics, put the 2.4's electronics in here. And the issues that caused was, 1, this was confusing. 2, the config that came pre-flashed on the Spider board was for a 2.4. And 3, the wire lengths and plugs were meant for a 2.4. So there was like an additional stepper driver. So that was the biggest thing. The other things I was like, yeah, that's not really, you know, like, yes, they need to be corrected, but the electrical thing, I expressed my frustration to them, and they have apologized and said that, like, it's not going to happen. They're going to their kits, but I am bummed out that it happened in the first place, because it certainly added a fair bit of confusion to the build last week. So, yes. So, pretty much everything has been corrected and is working. Let me show you guys. That's not right. What happened? Side camera says no signal. That's because I didn't plug the HDMI cable in. I got, like usual, even not streaming, I get squirrel sidetracked. Let me plug this cable in. That's funny. I powered it on, put it in position, and forgot to plug in the cable. Let's see. Hopefully this turns on. What's going on here? Should be on in 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay. So, couple things I've noticed that we're first. Oh, couple things I've noticed that we first need to check out, and these are, yes, very, very squirrely. The new extruder gear is still not great. The shaft on my unit was so thick that the bearing needed to be pressed. Interesting. I would not have press fit. I would have sanded it. That's interesting to hear. On the V0.2, they were sending out FISEC branded extruder gears. So interesting. So the couple things I've noticed is, one, when the printer turns on, this fan is running, which this is the part cooling fan, certainly should not be running. So then I was like, okay, well maybe it's on the wrong port and it's wired onto an always on port. I double checked, it's not. And so if it is running though, like always on, it's running very, very slow, which then led me to realize that the jumpers on the board are not set correctly, which isn't on SIBOOR. Like, it didn't say they were, I assumed, and that's on me. I think they're set to 12 volts, so we're only getting 12 volts for 24 volt fans is what it looks like. So we need to correct that. We need to turn this off, swap jumpers, and then if when we power this printer on, this is running, I'm going to assume that potentially the MOSFET is bad, and we'll swap ports. That's what we're gonna do. So the things we did last week was verified that our thermistors were working, our heaters were working. It was not homing in the correct direction, and it should now be homing in the correct direction. So let's verify that really quick. Let me get my hands ready on the switch just in case it goes the wrong way. So we've got X home. Yep, that's the correct. It is a 2-wire fan. It's a 2-wire fan, Delmar. And then we've got the Y switch. Let's make sure that goes. Hey, zombie. Okay, so yeah, X and Y is homing correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and power this off really quickly here. Shut down. Yes. You need to change the jumper to fix. Which jumper? The only jumpers I saw, so I pulled up this guy, which is the Spider V2.3. And if I'm looking at these, this is where our wires are. So the hot end wires here in slot 4, and the layer cooling fan is here in, I guess, the 5th from the left. And all I see is voltage selection, so 12, 24, or 5, 12, and 24 is red. So we need to move jumpers over to red. Check that you have the correct pinout. I had a nightmare swapping between 1.0 and 2.0. I did check that the pinout was correct. So it looks like we've got PA13 and PA14, and I did check that. So we can check again. Let's first start by swapping these jumpers over. Let's go side view. Bring you guys in like this. So we've got 3 jumpers. I'm probably going to use, yeah, I'm not going to get that with my fingers. Let's get one of these tweezers. I used another motherboard. Oh, what? Did yours come with the Spider as well, Heron? We've got other motherboards. I mean, my goal is, because I always do a kit, so we can get these off. No. These tweezers don't grip very hard. I usually have to sort of go at an angle. Okay, those aren't gonna work. Let's see, these are slightly better tweezers. Come on. Okay, maybe I am using my fingers. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So let's lift these off. Okay, so the nice thing is that the pins are color coded. So it's yellow is 5 volts, blue is 12, and red is 24. So we're just gonna put these back on onto the red posts, like so. Okay, so that's fine. If you have sharp pointed tweezers, you can grab the bar and that's probably not an idea. Little rubber end tweezers. Yeah, I ordered after the micro Swiss video I just did. Somebody mentioned that I should get, because I was pulling the plugs. I couldn't reach, like, they were small. I think they were JST PH, the tiny ones, and I couldn't actually get my fingers around the connector, so I was pulling the wires, but as close to the connector as possible. And they said, hey, there's these little tweezers you can get that have sort of a 45-degree kink at the end. So I did order some iFixit tweezers that are coming, so we'll have that. Okay, let's power this on and see if the fan is still auto spinning. I imagine it's going to be. I think it's a MOSFET thing and not a voltage selection thing. Yeah. Interestingly enough, it doesn't appear to be actually spinning faster either. Okay, so we need to figure out that. I'm probably going to switch, we're going to probably power this right back off and switch ports to the one on the other side and see if that'll work. But let's make sure that our hot end fan is working now that I played around with those jumpers. So once this power's on, I'm just going to turn on the heater and let's see if it kicks on right away. So let's go 220. Yeah. Okay, so at least that's working. So let's turn that off and let's shut this down. Okay, so we're gonna move it over to what would be PB2 it looks like. So let's power this back off. Tip, put the fans you don't use down to 5 volts. Not, you mean just so you don't damage them? Or, because I mean, I only pretty much exclusively am using 24-volt fans on these builds. Jinx this whole stream by declaring it will print it. No. Trust me, I mean, even if for some reason I can't figure out what's going on with this fan right now, we're still printing. It just means we won't have good part cooling, or the part cooling is always going to be on. Okay, so right now, let me verify which one. Oh, my big old fingers. There we go. Okay, so this is hot end fan. So this is part cooling fan. Right here. I can't even get, these are so close together. Dude, yeah. Because it's only a single wire going into this, I don't really want to yank it up. So let's see if I can grab the connector right here. I'm just gonna pull. If the wire pops out, I'll figure it out. God, it's so stuck. There we go. Okay. Moving it over, plugging it in. It's safety, basically. It protects you. You should accidentally plug in a 5-volt or 12-volt fan. Not necessarily, but not a bad. Yeah, I definitely understand it. ESD tweezers. If somebody's got a link, use the tweezers to lever under the lip on the connector. Yeah, if somebody's got a link to good ESD tweezers, I don't think the ones I got from iFixit are anti-static. Okay, so let's plug this in again. Let's see if, in this case, I'm hoping that the fan certainly shouldn't auto turn on. We're in a completely different connector. So let's see if the top fan, powers on. Yeah, I usually just pull and yank too, Alien, especially if it's got both wires in, but because it was this setup, they're like using a common. Are they using common ground? No, they're using common 24 volts, I think, for everything. It's a little bit sketchier having just the one wire to pull from. Okay, here we go. You see my chin. It's still running. I don't understand. How is that possible? I'm kind of at a loss. Unless it's possible that I am, okay. We could check something else here. I'm almost wondering if that wire is not the wire that goes to that fan. And maybe I've got the wire that goes to that fan plugged into a different voltage. Yeah, I don't think it's, so let's see here. If we go desktop and we go here, so this should be, it was in PA14, now it's in PB2, so we can swap it over. Push refresh. Fans are down here. There we go. Okay, hot end fan's fine. So it's this one. Just regular fan, yeah. Kickstart time. Crank cooling fan. Wait, is it because they have it labeled? I have white labels on the cable napkin, but of course that cable, it's tucked into the wire channel. So we'll have to check in a second here. The wires were such a mess because they're ridiculously long. So this is PB2. Because the fan is hardly moving. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Striker. Okay, so let's see. If I go down here, I don't think that this is going to have... Yeah, so that's not affecting it, which I sort of figured. Okay, so yeah, let's turn this off again, and then let's grab our multimeter and see... shut down, yes... What did Alien say? And labels can be incorrect, best to probe. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I don't think it's a MOSFET issue then. Again, I think that now that we've swapped over ports, the fact that both of them are behaving the same way leads me to think it's a wiring issue. So let's go like this. Let's not be so close. Okay, let me grab multimeter. Grab these guys. All right. It's awkward angle. Let me bring you guys, hold on. This is so awkward. I'm directly in line with the camera. Let's bring you guys over here, like so. Try to get the cable chain out of your way. There we go. Now let's try to swap this or open this. Okay, so I'm trying to think about what I can do here. I guess I could check. The issue is, so this is going to be on this board. I can check. Let's see, is there a pinout for this So we're using XR bunker. Catalog. So this is going to be stealth burner. And it's going to be the 2-piece with 5 volts. Yes. Yes. Is it weird to imagine 100 people sit in that camera? Most likely the fan is, yeah, it's what I think it is too, Delmar. Based off the speed it's running, it's probably plugged in incorrectly. So what I want to see here, more info on the heart keyboards. Thermistor. What I'd like to see is if I can probe one of these points. I guess I might need to go from this plug then. Okay, so if we're looking at the plug, we've got auxiliary, PSU, thermistor, part fan. So it's three. The plug is like. Okay. Scroll up in live streams. Did you post? All right, one sec. Live streams. How far up am I scrolling? SIBOOR. Oh! Okay, yeah. Sick. All right, this is what Delmar shared. So, part cooling fan should be right there. So, second, thank you. That is super helpful. Okay, so, part cooling is second from right. So it's gonna be this guy right here. I'm just gonna, I don't know how well you'll be able to see. You probably won't be able to see this. You're just gonna, just wait for it. Come on. Freaking, for being a single pin, it's really sticking. Okay, so we've got this going in here. Bear with me. This kind of sucks getting the prong of the multimeter. There we go. Yeah, it's not that. So what are we? So what are we getting? Okay, so that is it. It is not connected correctly. But what is the connector for it then, if that's not doing it? Okay, so let's take things apart. Yeah, basically, all I did was take the multimeter and touch this pin that we've been using for part cooling fan, and then put the other end on continuity to the part cooling fan pin of the toolhead board, and there was no continuity. So it's something with the wiring itself. So I can pop this guy off. I wonder then. You know what? So this is the only thing I can think of. I plugged this into 5 volts, this pin right here. So I wonder if this is what it is. Before I do anything else, let's just try it with this. I have a feeling that's what it is. But that also kind of doesn't make sense because we're still getting 5 volts to the board because tap is working and tap's running off 5 volts. So let's do this. If you're looking for 24 volts, uses a common rail, so all labeled ports are negative. Did I, wait, 1 second then. LED 5 volts, ground. So are we getting, I might need to take this out. It's probably gonna be easier to just completely remove this. If we don't figure this out shortly-ish here, we'll move forward on getting tap set up because again, everything else is still appearing to function fine. It's literally just our part cooling fan that's not responding. God, I need 1 second. I need needle tweezers. Be careful here. That Toolhead board uses a common. Toolhead uses a common 5 volts and ground. Okay. Yeah, if this isn't what's hooked up to the hot end fan, then I'm just gonna plug it back in and we're gonna leave it for now until I can figure out what the heck's going on. I'm gonna move. There we go. Okay, that was a bigger pain than I thought it was gonna be. Check your live channel. I shared a picture. Tone first? What? No, we're printing today, Alien. I committed to printing today. It's really tricky working around the camera. No, 5 volts correct. Where did I put the connector? So 5 volts going back in 5 volts. So that's not the issue. Which I didn't think it was because tap is working. The tap board is working, which should have the same 5 volts. So it's not that. Okay. Board cable. Is there no risk that it's affecting the hot end fan also? I don't think so. I don't think so, Elizabeth, because the hot end fan appears to be working fine. Like it's powering on as it should. It's responding to the hot end powering on. So it doesn't. It seems like it's isolated. It seems like it's isolated to the layer cooling fan. So I can get these off. This is tight. There we go. Okay, so what other wires do we have in here that are just hanging out? Let's see. It's kind of a bummer because I did spend some time cleaning up these wires, but here we go. So we have extra wires. I tucked them over here. So let's see if either of these, I think this one is the one I want to check. It's possible that at the factory can you get 24 line direct to the fan? 24 volt line directly to the fan, check it. Tone from the hot end fan until you find the red wire that goes to it. Yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing. Oh, for the hot end fan. Tone from the hot end fan until you find the wire that goes to it. Well, the hot end fan should be fine. One sec. Let me check this really quick here. One of these guys, because these are our extra wires. Okay, it doesn't appear to be that one. Try it one more time. It's tough to hold the... undo it. Okay, no, it's not that. So let's try this one. Not that either. Weird. What? You guys. Yeah, I saw it now. I just saw it. Thanks for that. Okay, let's try this again. Of course, I turned it off. Okay, still not that one. Okay, still not either of those two. Did we check that the fan works? Well, it is running, even though it's at 5 volts, but... Should I unplug? Should I unplug the entire front plate and plug that and bring it down and plug that directly in? What's up, G-Funny? The part cooling fan, it's always on, but it's running super slow, and it seems like it's getting like 5 volts or something. So, okay, so here's what we've got. We've got extra, this says, afterburner, X end stop, stealth burner, auxiliary. That's what one of these pins says. G-Funny, thank you very much for the gifted membership. Do you have? I don't have multimeter leads with clips, unfortunately. And then we've got one that has no label on it, at least not a visible label. Let me see if I follow it back a bit. Okay, the other one says X end stop. So 2 of them say X end stop. And then one of them is the correct. So let's see for fun here. If I grab, what size fan is it? Do we know? Let's just grab another 24 volt fan and rule out that the fan itself isn't the issue. I'm sure I've got an extra fan or two somewhere here. Just run a 24 volt wire from the spider board directly to your fan. Yeah, I would probably, oops, shit. Drop stuff. I would probably, oh, that's right, it's a 50-15 that's been cut up. Still think I've got one somewhere. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is try to find a 50-15, verify that the port on the spider board's working, then physically plug it into the port that this one's in, and if that works, I know it's the actual, it's a fan running off. Is the fan running off of a 5 volt end stop? I don't think so, because I checked continuity on the 2 end stop cables and it didn't seem like it. I am using a Toolhead board. Yeah. Check the second board. Check the second board in Stealth Burner. Oh, you mean the front board? Just make sure that it's actually getting... That's not a bad idea either. Okay, let's... Oh, yeah, the journey. Okay. Let's... It's not a bad idea. Oops, that's overhead. Side view. So let's actually make sure that there's not an issue with the board. So everything's turned off. Yes, yes, cool. And you got the plus and negative, yeah. The harness this toolhead board comes from a third-party supplier and had mislabeled and reverse crimps up the wazoo at one stage. Yeah, well, the part of the issue too is that I swapped. This isn't the board that came with it. This is the one from Xiaomi. The board that came with it didn't have a 5-volt. It didn't have a 5-volt section, or it didn't have 5 volts for tap, and so we swapped. The printer powers on with an ADC error. We're still stuck. Okay. So let's verify that part cooling fan where it's soldered okay. Coming around. So we've got LED and we've got hot end fan and we've got part cooling fan. So ground, they should all share a common ground, which I believe is working. Yes. And then 5. Oh, wait a minute. User error. wait. Yeah, user error. So I should have, yeah, that was on me. That's the issue. I don't know. I did this off stream. I did this off stream. So it was me. This fan should be wired to 24 volts and signal, and I have it wired to 5 volts and ground. So I must at some point have moved things around. Can we get oh my god. Can we get some F's in the chat, please? We need some F's in the chat. That was definitely my bad. Yeah, I've got absolutely nobody to blame but myself. It's funny because I did it off stream. Had we done it on stream, I feel like somebody would have caught me doing that and been like, "Hey, that's not right." No, that was all on me. I remember when the board came in, I was like, I'll just get caught up. Thank you for the banana, zombie. Alrighty then. So let's desolder this. I'm thankful that nothing bad happened and then it was just again permanently on, but it does at least show that it was getting 5 volts, which is sort of what we were speculating, and also explains why Signal wasn't controlling it. Thank you for the 19 months. I wish we had a wah, wah. I might need to get that. Okay, so we are 40 minutes in. We haven't touched tap, but we've solved this. So the good news is, in theory, once I get this fixed, we plug it back in, move the port to the correct slot, we should be on tap. So let me grab this. Let me desolder. Grab the ground wire. Oh, come on. What's going on with this? Okay. Good call. I think it was Delmar that said to check the connection between the two. So if I could, I would give like 10 points to Gryffindor or whatever house. Oh, not in focus. Probably because it's on autofocus. Let's see. Nope, it's on manual. maybe like that. Okay, so I'm going to put a tiny, tiny bit of flux on the pads, tin them, and then solder them, and then we'll wrap this up. Ay. Okay, a little bit of flux, a little bit of, so I can have it visible without covering it with my hand. All right. I mean, I asked about this when you were probing the toolhead board, but I guess I got missed. It's hard to catch everything, Bearded, especially when I'm trying, like it's one thing on a stream when things are just going smoothly, which does happen every once in a while. But yeah, when I'm trying to troubleshoot, I'm not gonna be able to show you guys this or like have it on camera, but I'll show it after. When I'm trying to troubleshoot something and also read chat, it's really difficult to catch everything. I do my best, but come on, there we go. Okay, we are good. Clean the soldering iron tip. So all I did was move the 2 wires from 5 volt and ground, which is not where they were supposed to be, to 24 volt and signal. So now we should be back in business. Well, I'm happy it was that and not a damaged, damaged hardware or something like that. It was just me. User error. Yeah, usually, I know chat helps a ton. Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of times where chat helps, but there's also plenty of times where I read chat and then get completely on like a side quest, and I'm like, how did we get here? Okay, I am super happy about that. Move our little bit of solder out of the way, and somehow I misplaced, nope, it's on the bed of the printer. Hey, Shammy! I'll have a quick moment, have family in for early Thanksgiving. Hey, thank you so much, Shammy. Let's do here, air horn. Thank you, Shammy. Everyone say hi, Shammy. I don't know if you saw, but we were troubleshooting a fan. The part cooling fan was on and not responding to any control from Clipper, and it ended up being that when I got in the 2-piece stealth burner board from you, even though I wasn't on stream, so there was no distractions. Oh, well, that's not true. We have a baby, but I somehow managed to incorrectly solder the part cooling fan to 5 volt and ground instead of the 24 volt signal we were supposed to. But thank you very much, Jamie. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I appreciate you stopping by. Okay, so let's not screw up placing these back. So I'm just gonna make sure that, it's hard to see, but the pins are going into the socket correctly. And also that the wires aren't being pinched more than they need to be. One second. I did that the first time. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better. I'm sure I'm not the only one. But yeah, I was losing my, one sec. Let me get a closer look so I can make sure I'm doing this correctly. I was losing my mind for a second there. Okay, that looks good. Everything is aligned. Da, da, da. And then the longer ones go through the bottom like that. And we should be back in business. Well, that was fun to troubleshoot. That's not at all what I thought it was. I absolutely thought it was just a issue with the FISEC board. All right. Yeah, I guess I should have figured that the 5 volts probably wasn't the issue down below, because again, the LEDs, if I'm not mistaken, are pulling from 5 volts, as are the tap. Okay. Okay. That's tight enough for now. Let me close this guy back up, our little Batmobile wing. And then I'm going to plug, oops, that's not the right size driver. Let's see. Oh, come on. Easy fix, at least you did not have to wait for, yeah, that's true. Just by having done several printers already. You'll be fine, Steven. I think the key thing is just take your time. I mean, we're really good at doing that on this channel, streams, taking your time, but yeah, rushing, and also on the first V0 I did, most of the issues I had was when I should have called it for the night on the build, and I didn't. It was like, yeah, I'm, you know, you get kind of excited. That was where the issues happen. So when you get tired or anything, or you're distracted, don't continue. You know, but you'll be fine. You'll be totally fine. Hey, what's up, Tajin? I got distracted by, no worries. You missed some fun troubleshooting. Okay, so this is our, we did also though, we did need to move these jumpers regardless. So there was some fan stuff, but I'm putting this fan back into its initial port, which is right here, right here. And so we will have to really quickly go back into our config and change the pin back to what it was. But let's go ahead and power this up. If I am not mistaken, based off what we just did, this should no longer turn on instantly because it should not be getting any voltage. And hopefully I didn't change anything else. So fingers crossed. So don't build a printer. Yeah, don't build, exactly. Okay, all right, I'm fingers crossed, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. We see nothing is happening, and that is exactly what we want to see. One of the few times in a build where I want nothing to happen whatsoever. Our fan is not moving. We see no smoke. We see nothing. So that's a beautiful thing. And we are going to go back over here, and we're going to look at our not tap. Not you. Where did I put this? Here we go. Okay, so we moved it back. So PA14 is what we need to rename it to. So as soon as this loads, we'll do that. Config, printer.cfg. Okay, PA14. PA14. Save and restart. Okay, so if that worked, then we should, if I turn on the part cooling fan, I hear it. I can hear it already. I can hear it already. Yeah, it's working. 24 volts, and it's controllable. We did it. Oh, yeah. So, so a couple funnies, which we have a lot of times in the build. I tried checking for continuity on 2 points with my multimeter off, which was fun. And then the issue ended up being that on the, so the Heart-K board is a 2-piece board, right? You have the front board that goes behind the 5015 blower, and you have the main board that it plugs into. Well, when I soldered the connectors for the part cooling hot end fan and NeoPixel, or the little, yeah, I think it's the NeoPixel, I incorrectly soldered the part cooling fan. It needed to go to 24 volts and ground, and nope, 24 volts and signal, and I soldered it to 5 volts and ground. I'm thankful that that's what I soldered it to and not something else that could have destroyed something in electronics, but that's what the issue was. So yeah, we're back in business, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm happy. It's fun. I don't mind. Troubleshooting can be really rewarding when you get to the other side of it, but there's definitely times where you're just like hammering at the same thing and you're not getting anywhere, and that's when it becomes incredibly frustrating. So this is where we are with everything. It's working. We're homing correctly. Thermistors, fans, all that stuff's good. Tap is installed, and you can probably see the red light where the cable chain is right here? There's a little red light. When I pull it up, it is turning blue. So it's triggering tap, which is a good thing. Hey, Steve is here. Steve, thank you so much for 10 gifted memberships, man. Everyone say hi, Steve. Happy early Thanksgiving. Let's go. Man, Steve, did you see? Steve would have laughed. We'll do a standing ovation. Did you see the whoopsies, Steve? I did 2 things that were silly in this stream. I'm only gonna repeat it one more time because I know everyone's like, he keeps saying the same thing. So everything's been working correctly on this printer, except the part cooling fan is always on. It's not controllable, and it seems like it's moving very slowly. Well, I discovered the jumpers were set to 12 volts, so we corrected that by switching them to 24 volts. And then it still wasn't, we changed ports, and it was always on and not controllable. So then we were probing things with the multimeter, checking continuity, and I was like, yeah, no continuity here. And in frame, you can see the multimeter, and I had turned it off and forgot I had turned it off. So I was trying to get continuity with the multimeter off. So that was the first thing. And then the second thing, Delmar, I guess someone else had recommended as well, but I saw Delmar, he said before I swap fans or anything, check for continuity between the part that the fan is connected to and where it connects to the secondary board, since it's the Heart K2 piece. And when I took it off, we very quickly saw that I had soldered the fan for the part cooling to 5 volts and ground instead of 24 volts and signal. So it's been, yeah, it's definitely this isn't supposed to be a stand-up comedy stream, but there's certainly been some good laughs. But anyways, it's working now. We've got 24 volts to the fan, it's controllable, and we are good. So now we are moving on to tap. And the issue currently with tap is that, I believe it was Delmar that mentioned, is that it should, where's our, let's see here, let's go to, where on here, I'm trying to remember fluid, is under tune, oh, it's under tune, okay. So for end stops, we've got Z showing triggered when it shouldn't show triggered. So both Z and probe are tied together, and then when we lift it up to where it should be triggered, it's showing, well, open, I guess, for that. So we need to invert logic. So we are going to start by going under the configuration to printer.cfg. Just realized something. You use stealth burner board, uses 24 volts in the PST, so the jumpers. Oh, that's funny. Nappin, you are right. That's also why I did make a change. At least you didn't wire, yeah, it could have been so much worse. I'm thankful that that was the whoopsie I did and not something else. It's just funny though, because I did that off stream, and I did it off stream to just get caught up because I was swapping boards. And if I had done it on stream, someone probably would have caught me and been like, hey, you're doing that wrong. But that's what I get for trying to get ahead. Okay, so let's go, what did I say? Stepper Z. So we need to position end stop pin. So we want to, is it exclamation point then? Let's see if that does it. That's a pull up, that's a pull up resistor, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what that is. Let's flip this, see what it does. Oops, no, that's not right. What is, it's just my formatting, right? Or is it, it's direction that I goofed on? What did I do? Let me look again. No, it's directions I screwed up. That's why, my bad. It's the direction pin. No, end stop pin. That was right. What is the, you only need to change probe pin. Oh, I think Striker, you're right? Because I'm gonna be switching end stop pin over to virtual end stop, so it's going to use what's in probe. So let's see if we go down to probe. Let's see, I think you're right with that. So pin, yeah, let's try this. Let's invert U. And let's see what that does for our probe. We'll do Z after. Okay, so probe is open, which is what it should be. Now I'm pulling up on tap and it should say triggered. Yeah, now I'm releasing it. Now it should say open. Cool. Okay, so let's go now through Voron Tap through the updates. So it says under the Z stepper block, you'll want to comment out your position end stop and change your end stop pin. So let's do these things now. Let's go under config, printer.cfg, and we're going down to Z. So it's said to uncomment position. So position end stop we're not doing, and then we're changing end stop pin. Yeah, that's why we don't need it anymore, because we're swapping out end stop pin for a virtual end stop. Okay. Any plans on? Yes, absolutely. I just got in a Stealth Burner CAN bus board from Big Tree Tech, as well as the wiring harness for the existing Stealth Burner CAN bus board. So we're going CAN bus on both the Trident as well as the LDO 2.4. So yeah, we're gonna run this stock for probably 30-ish days, so I can test out the printer as is and put together a video for the kit. But yeah, then we're going with Zoll, CAN bus, and we're gonna play around with this thing. Absolutely. The Stealth Burner. It's the one they sent was the 2209. Hey, what's going on, Digital Dragon? Happy almost Thanksgiving. Okay, let me. Somebody check to make sure I'm doing everything right, so I don't get distracted. We did that. And change your end stop pin. We did that. Be sure to also remove any automatically saved stepper Z position end stop value that may be found at the bottom of your printer.c file. Stepper Z position. Is there anything like that in here? I don't think there is, since this is a new build. Stepper Z. No, I don't think there's anything like that. Update your homing position. If you use safety home, let's see, do we have safety home in here? Safe. Yeah, we do. Change the location to the center of the bed. So it's gonna be 150. Since this is a 300mm build plate. If you have homing override, make sure that it moves the toolhead to the center of the bed. Hey, Steven. Let's see, what am I missing? It's the 2209. Yeah, they said they didn't have the 2040 available, and I said, that's fine, no worries. I've installed several at 2209 boards. Let me know if you have any questions. Sounds like a plan. I'm probably gonna do one of them on stream, and one of them will be a video on CAN boot. No, I'm sorry, on CAN bridge. It will include, what's it called? It's not CAN boot anymore. They call it, not boomerang. I can't think of the rename. Good luck with this on camera, the tiny JS. No, I don't have to. They've swapped it out, or they have like a wiring, they sent me a wiring harness type thing, so I won't have to do that. I tried crimping one or two of them after chat told me there's no way I'd be able to do it, and I'm stubborn, and you're right. There's no way. Hey, Treggy. Let's see, under stepper Z, end stop pin should be end stop pin probe Z virtual end stop. Wait, did I not do that? Under stepper Z, end stop pin. Didn't I just do that? Stepper Z. Yeah, we did that. End stop pin. Probe Z, virtual install. Yeah, we've got that. Catapult, that's what it's called. Yeah. It's CAN boot in my head. It's hard for me to switch. I locked it in, especially because I spent so much time tumbling through it. Hey, what's up, Iconic? Welcome. Okay, so what have we done? We did safety home. It says if you have homing override. I don't know if we do, since again, this is the brand new config homing we don't have a homing override. So we don't have to worry about that. Remember with tap, your nozzle is the probe, so your probe offset and probe value should be 0. Okay, so let's do that. The probe section. No. There we go. Okay, so X offset is already 0. Y offset also needs to be 0. Cool. We'll need to do that. Add tabs, activate G-code. This G-code will allow you to probe cold, but will also prevent you from probing with a nozzle at printing temperature to try to, cool. This goes in the probe section of your config. Neat. Okay, so we will just add this underneath here. Okay, let's restart and see how this goes. This is printed tap. This is printed tap. We have, I've got in some cool stuff. I got in the Chaotic Labs tap we have here as well. And then I got in the FISEC carbon fiber tap. So we have a couple we can play around with at some point. Yeah, tumbling is the, shouldn't need homing override if safe see home. Yeah, okay, we don't have it. Did you see Everest frame? I think at least more rigid than a 10-foot ender. I didn't post it. If you post it right now or in a minute here, I will check on stream because I got off stream last week and went to check and I didn't see a tag. I didn't see a post anywhere. So tag me somewhere in the Modbot Discord and I will look at it in a moment here. I fought for a week to get a 2240 board printing. Never could get it. 2209 dropped. Interesting. I'm excited for the Micron build, so I got to use the stealth press again. When did you build one, Zombie? Okay, so in theory, since we're using virtual end stop, I believe, is that Aaron? Nope, that's Siri. I believe that so yeah, both open. Now they should both be closed. Yep, both open. Okay, so this is working. So do I just home it now for the first time? I have not homed this printer. Do we just home it? I'm imagining the steps I'm thinking is we need to home it. Then we need to, do I need to, no, yeah, I would need to hot, when I'm setting the Z offset with tap, I still need to warm up the bed to at least temp, right? Yeah, let's try it. This is the first, I'm gonna be ready with the, oh crap, emergency. Yeah, I'm gonna do that just in case things crash. So, all right, let's hope for the best. This is our first homing ever. You need to heat the hot end to 150 if you have I don't. There's been nothing. The nozzle is brand new. Okay, so I should let it expand. Level the bed a little bit. Is it that crooked? Oh wow, it is very crooked. Okay, 1 second. Let me. Is that like a little better? It's kind of hard. I'm so close to the printer. That looks better to me. Let's try it. Let's try. It's gonna look. I'm using a wide angle lens to capture big printer, small area. So it's gonna look more crooked than it is. Let's start with just homing this and see how it goes. All right, everybody, fingers crossed. I'm gonna have my hand on the emergency. So 1, 2, 3. It did it. It did it. It did it. That's exciting. I would try to stop it the first time with hand. Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I could have triggered it beforehand. It did it though. That was great. So I think let's attempt to do a quad gantry level, right? Should we do probe accuracy actually? I'm thinking about maybe we should do a probe accuracy test for fun. Let's see. Voron, first time check. Yeah, that was, I was pretty confident. I knew it was triggering, right? Z-Tilt, yeah, let's do a probe accuracy really quick for fun, and then we'll tram the bed, and then we'll do a Z offset, and then we'll do a print. And somewhere in this, we're gonna open up a giveaway. In 26 minutes, we'll open up the Polymaker giveaway. So, stepper motor check. I'm gonna show, let's see. End stop check, XY homing check, motor config, we should be good on. The only one I didn't check, I think, was the extruder, but if it spits the wrong way, we'll know. When I load filament, define 0 points, Z end stop pin, Z end stop location. Probe testing. When it's far from the bed, query probe. We're fine on that. On the metal object, we don't need to do that. Probe accuracy. Okay, so yeah, just probe accuracy. Okay, let's see how it goes. Hey, happy pre-Thanksgiving. Probe accurate. How many does it do if you don't do 50? Oh, does it 10 times? I'll do. Let's just see what it does with 10. Let's see what it does. Okay, so I'm gonna probe accuracy. I'll meet you in the middle. You said samples. We'll do 25 samples. And then let's go side view and hit enter. I would do more like 100 or 2 to break things in. All right, we've got probe accuracy, minimum negative 0.00125. No, that's maximum. Minimum 0.0, range 0.003, with a standard deviation of 0.001241. That looks pretty damn good to me. The homing speed does seem fast, doesn't it? I agree with that. It seems like it's hitting it pretty hard. Config printer.cfg. Homing speed 50. Should we lower it to 25? It will lower with time. Seems reasonable. Do we think we should lower the homing speed a little bit? It does seem like it's hitting kind of fast. I haven't used tap, so I mean I'm using powder coated PEI. It's very, you know, it's not going to be damaged. 50 is blistering fast, though you're probably not bad. Max 5? I just shared it. Okay, 50 is fine for tap. Okay, okay. Homing speed is important. It homes Z at 50. Okay, so Aaron, people are saying different things. Like, let's for fun. Hold on here. I'll do 25. Oops. Let's cut this in half. Well, to be fair, it wasn't intended to have. It doesn't have. Slow it down for normal use. Okay, we'll do it in half for now. How does tap actually work? So it's a there's a small linear rail inside of the back of the tool head, and there is a optical sensor. So the nozzle itself goes into the bed, and the bed raises the entire tool head on that tiny linear rail until that optical sensor is triggered. So in theory, I mean that's really how it works. Boop tap, I did 10. I've never seen anyone home with Z. Well, it's intended to have the inductive probe, right? That's what this profile is built for. You can do a second homing speed. I think mine are also okay. All right, so everyone's okay. All right. We'll go a little bit slower then. Let's do. I'm gonna do 15. We're gonna do a 15er here, because we gotta go a little fast. But let's try. Okay, so let's home all. Let's also change the track. We need some 8-bit. It felt a little fast for me as well. When it was going to the toolhead, I thought it was moving a little bit quick. Okay, so let's do, why don't we have, interesting, we don't have, yeah, so the plus side of having it like that is that if it doesn't, like, you don't have to set, well, I guess there's a Z offset, but there's only one point. So like with the 2.4 that I have, you have the nozzle that homes at one point, and then you have clicky that basically gets grabbed. So you have two different measurements. And one of the issues I ran into was the nozzle homing and it causing, there was a little bit of filament on the nozzle, I think even slightly warmed up, which caused the measurement to be off, and so then my first layer was off. So you're essentially removing the need for an XY offset because the nozzle becomes the probe in theory. And it sort of simplifies things down to just 1 point versus 2 measurements. Oh, you kept the nozzle end stop. On the 2.4? Yeah, on the 2.4, I do have the nozzle end stop. Does an up-down not affect layer height? No. So there's magnets that hold it in place, so that way it's not moving around. Benefit, you have Z offset, but when you change nozzles, you don't. Oh yeah, that's also another thing too. if you change nozzles and your nozzles are slightly higher or lower, it doesn't matter because it's using the nozzle and basing your Z offset based off that nozzle. So that's another plus as well. Okay, so something that I just noticed is under the macros, we don't have a the tilt macro, which is odd because I thought I saw it under config. So why is it not showing up under macros? Unless it's not enabled, but I thought that it was. Probe, BL touch, heater fan, safety home, Z-Tilt. Why don't we have... So it looks like they're both here. Both bed mesh and Z-Tilt are here. It's under tools. It's a Oh, okay. So it's a. I'm not super familiar with Fluid compared to mainsail, so it's a me thing. It sounds like. So you're saying look under tools. G-code preview. Is there tune config system? Where am I looking here? Look for the drop down in the tool section. Where's the tool section? It's probably right in front of my face. It was right on the line that said tool. Page up. Console, jobs, history, tune, config, system. Red buttons for direction. Oh, it's right here. Yep, I've used these before too. All right, everybody passes the test. Okay, so it's thank you, everybody. Let's move this. Okay, let's try Z-Tilt. I feel like I can make... That's not... That doesn't look right. What is it doing? Is this normal? Like, as far as this doesn't seem... I thought it was just going to probe 3 points. Whoa. Points are reverse. Okay. Yeah, that was not right. So... The order is wrong, it's reversed. Okay, so what do I need to correct for this? Configuration, printer.cfg. Oh, you guys can't see this. Also, really quick, I'm gonna check on Tangent Engineering's printer because I said I was going to in Discord. So give me 1 sec. I'm gonna pull it up. It's in chat. I don't see it. Is it in the live stream channel? I still don't see it. Where are you posting it? Rocker project. Oh my god, okay, I found it. Here it is. This is the monster printer for printing rocket parts. That's wild. Yeah, that's awesome. That is a super... You said, what's the size tube, this thing? Okay, so the reason why I think it screwed up, right, it was trying to correct beyond what it can correct. I think that was the issue in the end. But so if I go down to Z-Tilt, you're saying the order is incorrect. Because I thought, I've ran Z-Tilt before on the Mercury and it probes 3 points only, and this looked like it was probing 6 points. Bed mesh, but Z-Tilt, there we go. So, okay, so that definitely is not right. So what's, let me see here. If I go, non-planar printing. Let me see if I can find really quick here. So FISEC, No, I was under... What was I under? Also need to make sure your stepper Z's are in the right spot. Oh, it has the 2.4 points in it. Did you stepper buzz the Z? I don't know that I did. We didn't stepper buzz Z, did we? No, we didn't. We did homing. Okay, so this is because I thought that I had checked. The config that was flashed on this is 2.4, and I thought I had corrected the things that made it a 2.4, but that's not, doesn't seem to be the case. So let me really quickly here, if I go GitHub, SIBOOR. One second here. Voron Trident. There's the 300 config. So let me go back down to where that is. This doesn't look right though. This is still not right, is it? I think it lists 4-point coordinates. Wish all the best. Hey, thanks for hanging out, DJ. In either case, the Z-Tilt is wrong. Make sure stepper Z is front left, Z1 is rear, and Z2 is front. Okay, let's do let's do a few things here. So I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to let's stepper buzz to make sure that our steppers are named correctly. So we're going to not emergency stop. We're gonna turn the motors off, so I can drop this a little bit by hand. Yeah, we never did that. Steve has a good point. I checked on direction of A, B, and then we had issues with the end stops and had to end the stream, and I never did check this. I think they are named correctly, but let's do a stepper buzz. So if we go initial startup, and we go stepper buzz, or stepper, there we go. Trident. You guys can't see what I'm doing, I just realized. Okay, so we need stepper Z, which is going to be for Trident, I think Steve just said front left. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if this does front left. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, I didn't. It would help if I was on the right tab. Here we go. It's not. It's this. Okay. Well, I'm glad we checked that. So it is not set correctly. So stepper Z is going to be front right when it should be front left. You think it's easiest to just physically move it, Steve? Yeah, I'm gonna check. I want to check to see. Let's see if Z1 is the right one. So Z1 should be the back. Stepper. Let's see if Z1's correct. Yeah, so Z1's correct. So I need to swap front left and front right are the ones that are inverted. Not leaving power on. Okay, so let's shut down. Yes. Turning off. Okay, so we've got XY extruder. Then we need to swap out U. It's a good call, Steve. Because I assumed that they were going to be in the right, but they were not. So that is there. You are there. Okay, let's power this back on. And also make sure the first move is down, positive drive. Okay. Okay, so we've got, at least we know that the drivers match steppers as far as naming goes. So now we'll see if it goes down first. Hey, we've got, how many people are here? 157 and 59 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, do it. Let's get to 100 likes. Okay, so force refresh, reconnect. So let's see now, if we go with stepper Z, it should be front left, and it should go down first. Yeah, cool. It went down first. While you're waiting, your probe points are still not right. Yeah, I'm gonna copy it from whatever Aaron posted. Someone had posted a minute ago just to grab them from the official Trident repository, which is a great idea. But I'll use Aaron's. Z1 is gonna be back then, which we already know. We checked that, so we'll do it again. What the hell? Okay, it's going the right direction as well. Okay, and the final one, which is going to be Z2, should be our front right, and let's make sure it goes down first. Looking good. Okay, awesome, awesome. So let me really quickly here grab, where is it? Live streams. Question I've got for, yeah, I think that, Aaron, yours is for a 350, isn't it? Because one of your points is 350 by 18. This is only a 300 millimeter. Unless I'm wrong, and that's what it's supposed to be. And comment for, no, it looks like you're right. It's supposed to be 350. That is the positions. How is that? Okay, Z-Tilt and points. All right, I'll copy it over. Okay, so we are swapping out Z-Tilt. Nope. Is there not a... Oh, that is not how you do it. Is it because I didn't click in here? I thought this would be faster. There we go. Hey, what's up, Ballistic? Z positions, and are where the lead screw. Gotcha, okay. Thank you. I've only done this once, and it was a while ago with the Mercury build, so that makes sense then. Although the build area doesn't get above 300 millimeters, these are the size, okay. These are the Z positions, so that way it knows where the actual, is it where the motors are or where the pivot points are? I would imagine it's where the pivot points are, which isn't exactly where the motors are. It's where the little bearing ball's at. Okay, so let's save and restart. And we should be good, which is the major, in parentheses, should. So let's try homing this again. Home all. Yeah, Steve, is it the lead screws that those are, or is it the bearings? I thought it was the pivot point you were trying to get. I thought it was the pivot point you were trying to get for those measurements. But is it that, or is it the lead screws where the motors are? Okay, so let's try now Z-Tilt adjust. I'm gonna be ready with the emergency. Still feels kind of aggressive with the speeds. Lead screw location, yeah, so it's the bearing pivot point. I think we had this conversation possibly when we were doing, or when I was doing the Mercury build. The probe speed, you think the probe speed's too fast, right? It feels aggressive. It's, yeah, okay. it's I feel the same way. It feels like it's really aggressive on the toolhead, so I'm not disagreeing. Again, it's because it's intended to have the inductive, this config, so I should have changed that. Let's change the speed and let's redo it. Then we'll get our Z offset and then we're gonna get a print going. Okay, so probe speed. It's 50 again. So let's go. I'm gonna go with 10. Let's do 10. Let's also change home to 10. We'll be good. Z homing speed. Yeah. Lift speed 20. What's the lift? Oh, what was the lift speed, zombie? Did you save the change after you changed the homing speed? I did. Yeah, I did. Hey, what's up, Nazo? Okay, let's try this again. Oh, we don't want to see this. We want to see this. Also, we probably don't want to see the printer at such a curved angle. That feels better, right? That feels slower to me. Lift speed is what it does after it touches. I think it's normally slow. Yeah, I think that's okay. That looked much better. 2.4 lift speed is 150, which is nice. Yeah, that's fast. Lift speed I can probably increase, but let's just get this sort of solid. Let's do tilt Z adjust. It still feels kind of aggressive to me. It's better. It's definitely better, but I still think I might go. Yeah, I mean it's working. What did you set it to? This is 10. This is a lift or for the probe speed. It's 10 now, Steve. Mine is set to 8. Okay. You noted they included 2.4 wiring diagram in some of the wiring. I've watched 2 or 3 Trident builds where that's happened. Different kit. Interesting. That's weird. I haven't seen it before. This is the first time I've seen it. Steve, you said you run 7? I might leave it at 10 for now. The other thing I'm curious about is I don't see... Where's the bed mesh macro stored? So we got Z-Tilt, motors off. Or is there not a macro built in? I would do probe 5 and lift 10. What is the rotation distance set on Z-steppers? Oh, it's probably aggressive because it's probably set for rotation distance is set to 4. It's probably aggressive because of, again, the fact that it's the freaking 2.4. Let me see what they have set for their, let's see, stepper Z. No, rotation 4, that's what they have set. Are those 2 start lead screws? It looks like they are 2 start lead screws. Yeah, Steve. They're 2 start lead screws. This is the SIBOOR config file. This is their Trident. This is the one that it should have had on here. Do a quick Z move it and check with the ruler just to make sure. You mean just move it like 10 mil? Okay, I've got ruler rough. I mean, it's not real straight, but I'll be able to tell. So let's go close, home, 10 mil, the increase. It looks right, Steve. Yeah, it's right. It's moving 10 mil. I just did. I mean, I just held the ruler up to this block that rides the bed up and down, and posted a couple times, and it did 10 millimeters each time. Yeah, that's the confusing thing is, and I messaged them a pretty strong. It wasn't a rude message, but like, hey, out of the things that were sort of off with this kit, the config at the end, like the electrical and the config, is the biggest. Like if I. Like, this kit was sent as a build for the stream, and it's frustrating. I could only imagine, you know, again, someone that purchased this, and they're buying a kit to sort of get to the end goal a little bit quicker. Like, this would be very, very frustrating. So I let them know, like, hey, the other things were small things. This is a big deal. Like, this cannot be happening. So, yeah. Good thing you know Clipper. Yeah. I was going to watch the whole stream, couch nap 3 hours. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah, exactly. I would be incredibly frustrated. I mean, it's been a little frustrating, don't get me wrong. If we hadn't turned things on, like if you go back to last week's stream when we started the DC wiring and I discovered that things were not right, I was getting very frustrated. You know, it is what it is, and we worked through it, and I'm happy that we were able to get through it, but like, that can't be happening. Like, that cannot be happening. It's a big deal. I think the wiring harness was incorrect, the config was definitely incorrect, the diagram, it's just, whew. Is it giveaway time? It is. Okay, I'm going to post the giveaway link in chat, and then we're going to heat up the bed. I'm just going to heat it up to 60. Let's get this actually going right now. I'm going to get the bed heating to 60 Celsius so we can get our Z offset, and then we're going to... Wait, no, the bed mesh we need to figure out. We can still do a Z offset first. So let's get bed heating up, and let's go... Send. Config. Shorten. I do think that SIBOOR is going to make it right. Like, if someone had reached out, and I think that after my feedback, they're going to make it right. But it's super unfortunate that this is what it was like when I got it, right? Like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't... It's hard to get me real upset. Like, usually, if I'm real upset, there's hunger and sleep deprived or heat are like the three things. You combine those three things in something frustrating and I can definitely snap. But okay, so I'm going to post link in the link is posted. I'm going to pin it as soon as I can in a moment here. Where are we at likewise? 91 likes and 100 and it looks like 57 viewers. If you have not hit the like button, let's get to 125 before the giveaway. Pin message. Put the deck plate on. I can do that. I kind of want to turn off the printer before we do that. Which I will do in a moment. On camera. Okay, so we've got this heating up. Now the thing I'm not certain of is why isn't there a bed mesh macro? I thought that by default in Clipper, if there is a bed mesh section, oh, is there not? Oh, there is a bed mesh section. I thought if there was a bed mesh section, it would appear. Some people don't run a bed mesh. I think it's in the tuning. Oh, is it? Again, it could be a me thing because this is jobs, console, tune. Ah, okay, it's a me thing. Let me really quickly move my photo out of the way. Camera, there we go. I'm used to it being on the front page in main sale. You'll need to fix the relative reference index that was depreciated. Was that under bed mesh? I didn't see it. Nope. Okay. So just saying, just remove it? Or I can just, I'll just, instead of deleting things, I'll just comment it out. Oh, it got replaced. Check a more recent Voron config. I think it's in there. Okay, let's see if we just go, let's just go Trident. See if it's in the Trident GitHub. Oops, I forget that Trident is lots of things. In my mind, Trident is, I'm gonna put my picture back on too, but in my mind, Trident is Voron, but it's also a lot of other things. Firmware. Okay, these were updated 2 weeks ago, so I feel quite confident in, let's go raw, bed, mesh, nope. Is it not in? Interesting, maybe it's not in here. Maybe it's in a different one. Spoiler alert, there's no bed mesh in config. Interesting. Okay. Bed level support, bed mesh. Doesn't the Trident not come stock with a probe? No, it comes with a inductive probe. With Boop, I removed it completely. I don't think I run it in a lot of my bed meshes, to be perfectly honest with you, so I don't know that it's needed either. I don't. Oops, Control C. Is there anything? I think that there we go. Depreciated. Use the 0 reference point option. Zero, let's see. 0 reference position. An optional XY coordinate that specifies the location on the bed where Z equals 0. When this option is specified, the mesh will be offset. So, wait. An optional XY coordinate that specifies the location on the bed where Z equals 0. When this option is specified, the mesh will be offset so that 0 Z adjustments occur at this location. The default is no. I don't see why we would need that. The default is no 0 reference. I don't think it's needed. I'm gonna leave it off. I'm gonna leave it off. I don't think it's needed. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, let's give this a go. So let's save and restart because I updated that. Set our bed back to 60. And let's home all. Let's try to do this. I still don't fully understand it. I mean, maybe it's because maybe for setups where you're not homing at center already. I don't fully understand. Okay, let's do tune, calibrate. Although I think I should have done a tilt. Yeah, I was gonna say I think I should have done a tilt first. I killed it. We're gonna restart it. Okay, so let's try this. Third time's the charm. We're doing a home, a Z-tilt, a mesh, a Z offset, and then we're printing. I said we're printing today, and that's what we're doing. What's he say? None better to scroll than yeah. My one weakness. It's not true. One of many. Okay, so bed is heating up again. That is good. We have homed, right? We just did that. Now we are Z-tilting. I think I could explain better when the zero reference point is used. Okay, sounds good. I feel like me and you have talked about this at one point too, but I will absolutely take the refresher. Probably drink some water. Okay. Reach probe points. Tolerances. It says tolerance is 0.2. It doesn't seem great. I feel like I have it set. Oh shit! I feel like I have it set much lower on the Mercury. 0.2 tolerance doesn't sound like I thought I was 0.00. Let me see if we go under Z-tilt. Yeah, 0.2 is not good, right? I was like, that sounds way worse than what I remember running. What is standard? What should I set it to? I feel like I had it set to 0.00. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I thought I had 2 zeros in front of it on okay, retry tolerance. Yeah, 0.2 is what they have it set to by default. We'll do 0.2 for now. 0.005. 0.0075. All right. All right. We'll do 0.0075. Yeah, I'd rather get it as flat as possible prior to doing the probe. Yeah, we'll do 0.0075. I didn't see it the first time we did, or the first couple times we did the mesh, so otherwise I would have called it out. So I guess third time is not the charm. I think 0.01 is what I run on the Mercury, but the Mercury also has a twisted frame because of the Ender frame I used, and I didn't do a great job. I didn't do a job of scoring at all. So let's try it. Let's see if it does this. Lisa, hey, thank you for 17 months. Jack's sighting, pets for Delight and Monkey. They are getting baths very, very soon. Aaron's got a few more days off next week than normal, and it's on our... Oh, it did a great... Oh, that was easy. Yeah, tolerance range was 0.00625. Tolerance 0.00. Cool. All right, we're good. There might be a Jack sighting. There probably will be. Okay, now let's do our let's do our calibration. There we go. LDO frame when, Dutch? You tell me and I'll order it right away. I want it. I want to swap the Merc to that enclosed setup. Steven Modbot, return? Merc, converting Mercs? Might work out by the time we move. We both got Mercs, we both need to convert. Converting Mercs, water cooling, easy, but I'm hoping it'll be easier. Hoping it'll be easier once we're moved in the new place. Also, I'm pretty sure I told you, but my parents are moving out here sometime mid next year. They'll be split between California and here, but they should be out here for probably 5 or 6 months out of the year. So it'll be much easier, because even if Aaron's at work, I can say, hey, like, you know, Grandma, Grandpa, can you watch Jack Jack? Okay, so as soon as this is done, we're going to do our little Z offset, and then we're going to slice. Also, what time is it? 2:46. If you have not, there is a giveaway link posted in the chat. And yeah, we're going to be giving away a spool of Polymaker filament in roughly 15 minutes. Gotta love the grandparents' childcare. Yeah, they came out and visited. They left last Thursday morning, but they were out for a week, and it was so much fun. We took Jack, I told you guys, we took Jack to the aquarium, and it was a blast. Okay, so variance is 0.3. It doesn't feel like it's fantastic, but it's also not awful. I feel like it's not great, but I mean, it's a third of a mil. Are you sure you want to do stuff with water with Mamba Army? We know how it did go with that poor power supply. I'll wear yes. It's alright, we're gonna leave it like this. I'm also gonna be doing, it looks like the left gantry extrusion needs to go up a bit. Yeah, I'm also gonna be running camp. I'm also gonna be running camp, so I'm not gonna be taking the entire mesh into account. So a lot of times it's not even going to have much of an effect on the entire thing, so the range will be way smaller. But for now, we're gonna leave this. Okay, so let's go under the Voron initial startup. Last thing we need to do, or one of the last things we need to do, is our probe ZN stop location. We're good on probe testing. We're good on probe accuracy. We're good on. We do need a PID tune. I'm gonna run that after. Because I'm going to enclose this thing soon. We did tilt, Z offset. Okay, V1 and Trident, initial, if you did not run PD tune, set your extruder 245. This is not what we want though with tap, right? We don't need, I mean, normally you would want the hot end hot, but because we haven't ran anything through this, we probably don't. But I also should probably hot tighten this nozzle, which hasn't been done. So let's do, okay, let's do a couple things here. Let's drop Z. Let's go down 50. Is it probe or end stop calibrate? I think it's, oh, we have a great, hey, thank you. Thanks, Jerry, you too. Okay, so let's quickly here, I want to heat up the hot end, because we haven't hot tightened the nozzle, and I'm not convinced from factory that it was hot tightened well. Let me see. I think this little guy got. I do probe. Okay, probe calibrate. Yeah, let's heat this up at least to like 250 real quick here. That's a cool. I don't know. This was what was installed. They pre-flashed the orange pie at factory, SIBOOR. So I don't know. I don't know what theme this is or really much about it. Gotcha. Okay, probe calibrate. We are heating up. What are we going to print? That's the next thing on my mind. What are we going to print? Something quickish. Is there anything, it's almost Thanksgiving. Is there anything holiday-like that's not a super long print? Zombie, you're not allowed to answer that question. Everybody other than Zombie, what should we print? Anything seasonal, maybe? Yeah, Zombie, a banana. I just noticed the change. Did you mention that? Oh, I didn't. No. So Steve noticed that I did the cable chains, I think it was for X, right? Was it X, Steve? I believe it was the X cable chains the ends are incorrect on mine. I should have them swapped. And the way Steve basically explained it to me is that I think it's the fixed one can't pivot as much, or the fixed one can't, it's something. Okay, both of them are incorrect. Perfect. So the ends on the cable chains are set in a specific way that it's going to be producing the least amount of strain on the cables inside of the cable chain. So if you're building this and you're watching this, the ends of my cable chains should be swapped. I'm not going to change it because we're going to go CAN bus in like 30-ish days. But if you are not going CAN bus and you're sticking with the umbilical and the cable chains, the ends of the cable chains, the attachment points basically, they matter. They matter because the one that's going to be pivoting more is going to be putting more stress on the wires inside of it, which you don't want because it can, you know, cut through or cause damages in your wires. Yeah, Steve noticed that, and it's funny because I paid attention to that when I was installing them and still somehow screwed it up. So, okay, tightening. Cool, that's fine. Let's cool down the hot end. Yeah, Steve gave me a nicer visual representation, but the thing to note is that the direction of the ends of the cable chains matters. It's not just about looks. They're because one's fixed. Let me see. Let's show arms here. Let's go. Sony. Here we go. One of the ends is fixed. One of them has a swivel point. The one with the swivel point is going to be able to bend more and put more strain onto the wires. So I believe the way Steve explained it was the one with the pivot point is the one that you want to be having the least amount of regular bending. These are not technical terms, but hopefully it makes sense. Pay attention to the pictures of the end pieces of the cable chain to not prematurely wear out the wires running through them. I think I did it. Yeah. The one that's on the bar should be the fixed one. And the opposite of what I did. Okay, so we're cooling down. We're at 158. We've got how much longer on the giveaway? 7 minutes left on the giveaway. And we've got 104 entries. Nice. What are our likes? What are we at likewise? Ooh, 119. 119. Let's get 100. Let's get to 135 before the giveaway. So if you haven't liked it, hit the like button. Yes, I don't want to upset Sandy. Reverse cable chain squad, where are you at? Yeah, I've done a couple little things. I did correct during the build, I had set these incorrectly. The logos for the Voron, I had them on the side. But then when I did the inverted electronics, I had to reprint these. I corrected it for Steve. But initially I was going to leave it out of, I don't know, spite. Okay, so everything is pretty well. We're at 100. I'm shutting things down. We're putting the cable cover on here. Then we are doing our probe test and we're freaking printing. I said we're printing and I promise we are going to be printing. So power off. Okay, so let's cover up let's really quickly do these two things here. Cover this back up. Since the wires were not incorrect, but it was my soldering that was incorrect. Let's see, can I poke the stub this down here? This wiring is going to get a lot better when we go to CAN bus because there won't be quite so many running down here. And then I will probably cut and recrimp a handful of them at that moment. But for now, we shove it all inside of this cable raceway, like so. Let's not damage that USB cable. Look at that, it's beautiful. Oops, it's not, 1 second. Are you gonna tidy up the wiring down there? It is, what do you mean tidy up the wiring? It's beautiful. But yeah, no, I am. Not now, because again, we're going CAN, so a lot of these are gonna be not even going down. A lot of these aren't going to actually be running all the way down. Oh, I think this is the wire that's causing it not to. There we go. Okay. Shove this guy on, which this guy takes. I realized also last week after the stream, let me make sure AC is unplugged. I realized last week after stream that the ground wire that we had put right here, I don't know how well you can see it. Let's zoom in a little bit. It kind of interfered with this top mounted cover. And so I had to push it down a bit. Let's see. Looks good. Oh, catching the Wigos, which is something that Aaron warned me about. There we go. Okay. It looks really nice now that the top cover's on. And my rat's nest is hidden. Are you going to do cable management? Yes, Zombie. Yes. How's the custom PEI plate holding up? I'm not printing on it. So Heart K sent me a photo of one of his that had completely peeled after he printed ABS on it. And so I contacted FISEC about it. This is what we're talking about for anyone that doesn't know. I contacted FISEC about it, and they said that that had never happened in their testing. They tested for months on the adhesive, and that they apparently had narrowed it down to somebody using the incorrect adhesive, because it's basically some kind of a, I think it's almost like a vinyl printed onto the spring steel underneath it. And they're supposed to use a more temperature resistant adhesive, and they weren't. So they told me that they're going to be correcting that, sending out new ones to anyone that had purchased, and myself. So once that one comes in, I will print on it. This one's just going to be a display piece on the wall. So, all right. Powering on. Like, bam. I also just realized we haven't actually put the spool holder on here. I don't actually know. We'll just use this right now. Put it beside the. Bottom panel slides under the rear motors and tilts down. Yes. Okay, 3 more minutes on the giveaway. If you have not, there is a link pinned in chat, and they're going to be giving away a spool of Polymaker filament. Did you clean the bed first? I did not. That is a great call. Thank you. Sometimes it's fine, but there's definitely, you should always, I mean, so in all honesty, I recommend the first time probably using a little bit of dish soap and lukewarm water, but I'm not going to run to the kitchen. Oh, wait, did I clean? You're saying this bed, right? Not the custom one. Oh, that's not enough IPA. Okay, so we are now, let's put our little, let's see, our little silicone sock back on, keep everything nice, and now we can home. Let's heat our bed up too. Nice, we got 134 likes, thank you, and 183 people watching. You guys are awesome. Okay, so we are running probe calibrate. So I believe it's quite literally probe _ calibrate. No, it's not. It's not probe. Oh, it is probe. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So now it's kind of nice. Fluid has this really handy dandy little interface, so you can choose by what increment you want to move things. PID the hot end. We can PID the hot end. So I'm using, you know what? Let's not use the SIBOOR one. I'm going to use, this is the little printed guide that came with the Micro Swiss K1 hot end. I don't need that. Okay, -1. I kind of want to, I think I'm gonna leave it like that. We might need to baby step it, but I'd rather, our track record's not great for first prints. Let's actually even go a fair bit higher. Yeah, we'll go like that, accept. So we'll hit accept. We'll save, config, and restart. Okay. So last thing we are going to do, I'm gonna give everyone 2 minutes left to fill out the form. I'm gonna unpin it though right now. So let's go remove and unpin. Don't you have a rec sheet to use? I do. You're right, and I should use it. Let me see if I can find the bed of shame. I think it's probably in this corner. That's Soval. Honey Badger. Here it is. We'll use it. Thanks for calling me out. This is our bed of shame. 1 second here. If I go, oh. No, we'll use it. I'm gonna kick myself if I end up screwing something up and I had access to this bed, especially because it's right here. So this is from our 2.4 build. We set everything up on stream, and on the first print, it dug a benchy into the build plate. And I said, from now on, until we make sure that our Z offset's working the way it should be, we'll use this as our sacrificial plate. And so thank you for holding me accountable to what I said. So I did say that. Let's drop the bed a bit more. Those were my words. Okay, let's also give this a quick wipe down because it's been sitting in the corner of shame for a bit here. And I don't know how much dust or fingerprints are on it. That's true. No, you're right. The goal isn't to start a collection of beds of shame, although that could be kind of funny, like a wall of terror. Okay. Promise. The last thing. So we got our Z offset. I just said I would PID tune. So let's turning on our part fan to. We'll do 100% because we're doing PLA here, I guess. And we are going to, while it's PID tuning, we are going to do our giveaway. Let's see, calibrate extruder. And we're just going to go to 220 for PLA. So let me show you guys what I'm doing, I guess. Okay, so PID calibrate heater extruder target. We don't want 245. That's because it's for Voron, which would be normally ABS is what you test with, but we're not enclosed, so we're just going to change that to 220. We're going to hit go, and it should start now. climbing to 220, and it'll basically find the PID value. Okay, we've done this. Now, I am going to download the giveaways. So we got 118 responses for this giveaway. If you had not filled it out already, I'm sorry, but you've had enough time. Downloads, extract all. Yes. Drive. Okay, this should be everybody. So I said 118 people, right? I think that's what I said. Yep, we got everyone. Alien was the first one, it looks like. No. Alien was the last one, it looks like. Wheel of names. Bam! Okay, here we are. So, before we do this, I want to say thank you to Polymaker for letting us do this I need to go back and just see when we started doing these giveaways. It's been well over a year and a half at this point, and they let us give away a spool of filament globally, and it is such a cool thing, and again, we're all super appreciative. If you haven't tried out Polymaker filament, they make incredible filament. They're always expanding. They've got a limited edition Christmas bundle, which is a great gift for somebody or for yourself. I think it's US only, but if not, I think it's US only. They also have a 30% off code going on right now, which I think is Black Friday 2023. That might be right. So yeah, if you haven't used their filament, I highly recommend giving them a go. They've got lots of things from PLAs that are pretty, ASA and ABSs that are pretty as well. All sorts of awesome stuff. So let's figure out. Polymaker's great stuff, expensive, but very great. I guess it depends, because Polymaker is very much so not expensive compared to some of the other specialty brands like CookieCAD or Protopost or something like that. There's definitely cheaper filament, but I think that Polymaker is an incredibly fair middle ground between all of them. Black Friday 2022. Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you use code Black Friday 2023 and the link in the description, it also supports the channel and you get 30% off. And yeah, it's sweet. So what is our range for today? Today is, let's see, it's the 22nd. Let's go from 3 to 22. How many times are we going to shuffle? The range today is between 3 and 22. Yeah, like, again, if you're hunting for the cheapest filament possible, you can totally go on Amazon and find either no-name brands or sort of no-name brands for $10 sometimes. But I would rather have the consistency and knowing that, like, their formula is just incredibly consistent. Freaking zombie. Okay, we're gonna do, I see a lot of 15s. 15 is what we're going with today. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, good luck, everybody. In 3, 2, 1, here we go. It's Mike! I think that's a first-time winner. Congratulations, Mike. Let's get you some air horn action. Air horn! There's supposed to be an N on the end of that. And cheer. I will be sending you an email today because tomorrow I will be focused on trying to cook a very large turkey. So I will definitely get you your email. So if you're in the States, you'll get States or Canada, you'll get a gift card. And if you're outside of the States or Canada, you'll get to pick between a couple hundred different spools for which one that you want. So congratulations. Yeah, let's get back into getting this print. Let's see. And we got 140 likes. That's awesome. Thank you, everybody. It's been super cool. Okay, so our PID tune is done. Or in theory, it should be. It's not done. I'm lying. It's still doing it. So it should be finished any second. So the only things left is, while it's doing this, let's go on to, we'll go printables and see what we got. It's a Christmas lantern thing. Looks very festive. There's some snowflakes. That like seems easy enough, right? A little flow test, because we can see it's only a few layers. So we got snowflakes. We got this pretty thing. There's some trees. We can do a tree. Let's throw a wild card in there, something that's not at all Christmassy. Or this low poly cat. These are our options. We'll do like let's do a quick poll. Let's just see what we'll go with what everyone wants. So we've got add option which. So we have got cat. We've got snowflake. Snowflake, tree, and then deer, or we'll do, I guess Christmas tree is what it is technically. Christmas tree, and then the other one is like, we'll call it reindeer thing. I don't exactly know what it even is, like a collage, not a collage. There you go, there's the poll. We'll let it run for just like a minute or two. Okay, so let's see, now we're done. Okay, so PID is complete. It says we need to save the config, so we'll save it, which will restart our... I'd like this as well. So Fluid's got some sweet stuff. I haven't used Fluid in a long time, and the first web interface I ever used was Mainsail, and kind of like it's one of those things where you stick with what you know. But this is nice. When you go to save your config, before it actually just saves it, it pops up and tells you what it's going to be appending, I guess, to the end of your config file. And that's cool because, I mean, yes, you assume you know what's being saved, but I can verify, cool, yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to do is save, we're trying to do PID under extruder. Great, bam. It's kind of nice. Yeah, it's super nice. Like, that was really cool. The Z offset menu was really nice. Definitely like those things, so. We got 42. Cat's looking like a winner. I'm gonna give it another minute here. Let's quickly see. I'm just gonna heat this up to like 200. Let's make sure the extruder direction is correct. I don't know. We did not set it. Let's find some Polymaker filament. This is all ABS, ABS, ABS. I didn't order the Christmas bundle. We've got to have some. Let's see. Pet G. Where is all Polymaker PLA? All the Polymaker filament I have is like ABS, ASA, or PETG primarily. I know I've gotten some pretty... That looks like Polymaker. Yeah, there we go. There's a Polymaker. This is a Vertigo series. This is the Vertigo... Nope, Starlight. Starlight Comet. We'll go with this. This is pretty stuff. Check it. It's green with like kind of a purple tint to it with sparkles. Super nice. Okay, it looks like cats won, so we're definitely doing cats. I'm going to... let's go overhead really quick. So I didn't hook up the reverse Bowden tube yet, and I also didn't hook up the spool holder on the side of this guy, so we're just using something off to the side. Let's cut our filament. I'm just gonna have it pull it over the top extrusion here, and go down here. Okay, so close that. Now let's see if we extrude. Extrusion 10. Nope. Extrude is doing the opposite of what we want, so I'm glad I checked. So we need to go under our extruder. Should be the final thing. Extruder, direction, add an exclamation point to invert that. Save and restart. Hey, Panzer's here? Hey, Panzer's here. I didn't even see you. Hey, buddy. I printed out, well, you saw it. I still need to configure some of the crow's nest stuff, but I've got your 2.4 mount. Right. Okay, so now if I extrude... Oh, you guys can't see that. That looks awful. Nope. There we go. Okay, so fingers right here. Let's see which direction. Cool, we're going towards hot end. So let's do an extrusion length of like 50. And let's go a speed of 15 cubic millimeters a second. Just ordered some printer food. Nice. Did you got the coupon, right, Lisa? The 30% off's awesome. I'm doing a video. Saturday's video is on the 2.4, and I mentioned the mods I've done, which is the NX panel clips and the 3DO camera. But I need to link. I need to remember I didn't post the GitHub link to the product page, or no, to your project or to the product page. And I just remembered, so I need to do that before it goes live. Okay, so now we should be able to extrude. Okay. Okay, so cat it is with 37%. It's clear that is the winner. So let's go under cute cat, download. Don't show again. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. There we go. Downloads, cool. We should have, Orca should be on here. Okay, so let's go printer. We need to add a Trident. Voron Trident, 300, confirm. And then we need to add our, go. I don't know what to call this thing. Purple. It's Thanksgiving almost, so we'll call it the purple turkey. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Sorry, I didn't realize. I forget sometimes to pivot. So all I did was add a Trident to here, and then click on the little wireless button, add the IP for it, and then name it the purple turkey. And that is where we are, basically. Purple turkey, cool. Low poly cat, cool. We are not printing with ABS. We are printing with PLA. Purple poop eater is the first thing. Oh, people eater. Why did I say poop eater? Purple people eater. No. It's, I like the purple turkey. It's the most, it won't make sense any other time of the year other than now, but I'm fine with that. Alrighty, so let's really quickly see what our, I don't know if there's a start from macro. Oops, that's not what we want. We want purple turkey. Machine G code. Okay, so it has it all in here. Print start, print extruder. You can use the following code in your, if your print start macro. Use following code instead. If your print start macro, chamber. Yeah. Let me see what I've got going on with the. I'm gonna compare the 2.4. My 2.4. Huh, I am running the same thing with my 2.4. I think we just run it and see what happens. Let's just go. It's 49 minutes. We're just using defaults. I think the default Excel is set pretty slow on this printer. I think it's set to, is it 3000 they have it set to? Yeah, the acceleration is only set to 3000, so it's not real quick, but it's the first print. Let's just make sure it's all working. Purple, yeah, let's just give it a go. Print, upload and print. I don't think there was a... No. With how long we've taken to build this printer, I'm going to cherish it. We'll tear it apart at some point here when we do Zol and CAN bus and all that stuff, but I want to cherish it for a little bit. I also want to check to see if there was, I think there was a print start config. I believe that the config file contained a print start macro. Yeah, print start. Print start has bed mesh profile load default. So it is not going to run a bed mesh. Did we save a bed mesh when we ran that earlier? I don't know that we did. Let's see if I go under... We also probably should have Z-Tilt in our starting macro because it's not going to Z-Tilt. No existing bed mesh is found. Okay, so yeah, we need to change this up really quick. Well, let's see what it does in a sec here, but I need to add Z-Tilt and bed mesh calibrate. So right now it's just gonna start printing. No, it's not. What did it do? Extruder temperature, unknown command. Extruder temperature target of 220 is, oh, because it's tap, right? That's what it is. So, okay, so I'm gonna have to change, that's what happened. Because with tap, you don't want it at full temp when it homes, especially if you're using a non-powder coated bed. There's a check inside, so when it went to home right now, it saw, hey, the target is at 220, which is too high. The max is 150, so it's lowering that to 150. So I'm gonna have to play around with the, starting G code to take that into account, that it homes before it actually heats temp, or it goes to 150, then homes itself, and then continues the rest of the heating up. What's the max Z and Orca slicer Prusa is 100 millimeters short. Max Z for this is 250. You think it's gonna try to print at 220 after? It won't revert back? That's a great... Okay, so it's at 150. Now it's homing. Let's see if it tries to extrude there, if it climbs up in temp after. Okay. Okay, so it is doing Z-Tilt. I don't know where it's grabbing. I didn't see that in the start macro, but it is doing Z-Tilt. Okay, it's climbing to... No, it's still at 150. Bed's at 60. There is a good guide on camp. Zombie, it is the first print. I will ramp up speeds. Don't you worry. Okay, so it did that. Oh, you ordered a V0 and a Trident? That's awesome. Okay, so it's like homed 3 times. Now it's homed 4 times. Okay, what happened? Bed mesh unknown profile default. Unknown, okay, because there's no bed mesh, so it wasn't able to load a bed mesh. Okay. So, things that need to happen. Config. Printer.cft. So was there a Z-Tilt in our print start? There must have been. Let's see, where is our starting G-code? Print start. There's not. Print start. Why did it run a Z-Tilt? Oh, okay. G-code G32. So it runs a G32, that's why. I don't know if you guys can see this over chat, but so it runs a G32, which contains, it clears out the old bed mesh, it does a Z-Tilt, and it loads a profile. Cool, so the only thing we need to really do here is run a bed mesh again, but save it so that way it's got it for now until we install camp. So let's do that. Let's go device, let's exit out of here. Let's run our, it's under tune here, tune, calibrate. Okay. The temp is under probe, okay. Yeah, but let's still get a bed mesh just to have a baseline for default. But yeah, I agree. For a small print like this, we probably don't need a big mesh. It's only I mean, we spent months. Although I've got 30 minutes. Well, no, technically I have till 4:30, but I have like 30-ish minutes till I gotta get going because Erin's got work tonight. She's closing, so. Okay, so this is running. While it's running, let's let it do its thing. Let's go back under config. Probe, no. I don't know where to adjust so that way it goes, so that temperature happens after this. I think it's going to be in, oh, you guys can't see this. I think it's going to be in here. I think it's going to be under Purple Turkey, under machine code, under starting. I don't know at what point in this starting G code it's calling the print start macro. Oh, here we go, print start. So maybe I need to erase print start. So if print starting M109 become print start extruding nozzle. Print start but initially. I'm not sure what point I need to change. No, I'm not deleting the bed mesh. I'm saving the bed mesh. So it ran bed mesh. We're going to save it now because we don't have a default bed mesh period. So let's close out of here. We have it. Save to config. Save it as default. Because what our starting it does clear it out in case we wanted to run. So watch. Our starting G code has, so bed mesh is canceled out there, like it's not clearing it, but it's calling the G32, which does clear it out. Then it runs a Z-Tilt, then it jumps back over here and loads the default mesh, which is what we want, because that's what our mesh is based off of right now. I mean, we can get rid of, like, we don't technically need to clear it here. We can get rid of that, but it shouldn't matter because it's calling it before and then it's loading it right here. It's loading the default. Does it delete it or just disable it? No, this doesn't, clear doesn't, oh, does clear, I don't think clear doesn't permanently delete it. It just has it so it doesn't call. Yeah, I don't think clear permanently deletes it because I'm running that on some of my other machines as well at the end of the print. I don't think it dumps it. I'm pretty sure bed mesh clear just, well, we can check. Clear removes it from being active. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, let's just try this and see what happens next. So if we go down here, close, let's save and restart there. Let's hit print again. I don't know whether it's going to try to print at 150 Celsius. That's the last thing I have to figure out, is how to set up the temps for wait, the probe code in printer config showed what temp to home and Z-Tilt. The probe code in printer config. I didn't see that. I looked at it a second ago. Oh, that's not how you spell probe. Oh, you're saying down here. Gotcha. Set probe temp to 150. But we want this. We don't want to change this because this is like a failsafe, basically, that if you're trying to probe because you're using the nozzle and you've got a softer bed than powder coated PEI, it's a failsafe. It won't let you do it. It'll drop it to 150. But what I don't know is, let's see. So it's saying that if it's at, if temperature target is already low enough, but nozzle may still be too hot. I just don't know that once it lowers it, if it's going to bring it back up to temp after. That's the missing piece of this. Yeah, we want to leave that. Just make sure you set the print temp after. That's what I'm trying to figure out, Zombie, is where in here this is being called. Start. Bed mesh profile. Cool. Homing. Reset. Yeah, so it has to be in here, which is what I was saying. I just don't know where at this point I need to change it. Set bed temperature, set nozzle temperature, and then print start. So it's got to be, this must be what I need to be deleting, is this line probably, this M109 line. After it's done probing. Gotcha. Okay. Once it's done probing, I'll quickly heat it back up this time, but I'll have to add it there then. Delete the first lines in the slicer, it overrides it. So it's doing the same thing again. It's saying that 220 is too high, so it's dropping it down to 150. Which I think those two lines may have gotten rid of. It should be in your G-code. Camp will set its own temperature for testing and then return to the G-code setting. Okay, cool. Make it do 150 first till G32 and mesh is done. Then heat up to your right temperature. Okay. I'm gonna sort of, probably today, well maybe not today, but in the next couple days, I'm gonna get camp going on here. So once I get camp set up and I'm like, cool, this is working how it should be, then I'll get that dialed in. The M109 would have caused it to heat up before it tries in probing. Okay. Yeah, because it was setting it to first layer temp, which was 220. Are you preheating your bed? Yes, it's at 60 degrees. It's already at 60. But that was because of the command I just deleted, so it might not heat the bed next time. I might have to add that into the starting G code or the print start. I've been wanting to do a video on macros, Darren, and as part of that, I wanted to sit down and do a deep dive into macros. If you're willing to be my teacher, I will gladly sit down and listen to whatever info you've got on macros. The reason why I haven't done a video on it is because I need to do a very deep dive into the ins and outs of them. Did you mesh with the heated bed? I did. So it's probably going to try to start printing at 150 now. I think it's going to call extruder below min temp. Yes. Okay, so it did kill it. Okay, so we do need to do this now. This is the last step of it. So we've got print start extruder, nozzle temp, bed temp, initial layer. So what do I need to add in? It's the starting G code we need to edit. So we want to first heat things up, right? Like it's like the first thing we want, or at least before it does the G32 command. In the print start, you need to heat the nozzle at the end of the macro, but we also want to heat it at the beginning. Okay, let me 1 second here. Let me see if someone's. Print start. Set bed temp, parameters bed, parameters extruder, status heating, set bed temp. Okay. So you have it go to 150. Yeah. So I want M109 S150 for the extruder. Oops. These are the preheating macros. Okay, so I would think that before G32, we'd want it to heat up here. M109 S150, right? I don't know how well you guys can see that. Let me scroll up a little bit. So we've got the homing sequence. We've got it heating up to 150. Then it's running G32. So at this point, it's at 150. Then it's getting the bed mesh profile, which is fine. And basically, I would think that right here is where we would want it to go. I don't heat it at the beginning, but you want to heat it for, yes, and the M190 there as well. Oh, the M1, gotcha. Let me see, M190 temp bed. So it's just grabbing that. Let's go move this down a little bit. Okay, so that'll set it to whatever the bed temp is in Slicer, right? It looks like that's what it's grabbing it off of. So I would think the last thing we would need is once it's done the G32 and it's loaded the bed mesh, before it starts printing right here, this is where we want it to climb the rest of that temperature. M109, You're not loading any variables into your macro. No. 109 is hot and 190 is bed. Yeah, that looks right. Put the M190 at the very beginning. I did. Oh, you're saying just put it before everything? I would imagine it doesn't. I can move it to the very front. If that's what we're saying. Oops, tab. I think the only thing we're missing now is it climbing the rest of the way. Okay, so bed temp set. Hot end set to 150. We do all of our things, and now we need to get the rest of the way. Or temp bed in your case. Correct, M109, set temp, and wait. Yeah. Oh, M109. Why does everyone do either heater temp versus temp heater. You want temperature, weight. So this is what we want, right? M109S. Does M109 force, is it forcing it to wait before it moves on? Because we definitely want it to, we want to make sure it hits the right temperature before it starts printing. I just don't know if M109 has a built-in wait till it reaches temp command. The S is force. Okay, cool. Let's just see what happens here. I'm not saying this is gonna work, but let's give this a go. We've got, how much time? We got 19 minutes left. Okay, let's slice. Let's print. Let's upload. Make sure we don't have any errors. Okay, error unable to parse. M190. Okay, so M190 and MS through errors. Because my naming is incorrect, you can just do it in the slicer for now, so you don't need the variables. S just sends temp. Gotcha. It's because the naming isn't... Is Aaron in chat? Because Aaron definitely knows macro stuff well. I don't think that this is incorrect. I think that this temp bed and temp extruder probably is not correct. Okay, what am I missing from this? Remove space? What do you mean? What's... You need the first two lines from the macro in Discord. Okay. Ah, this is what I need. This is what I need, right? So it's saying, it's basically saying temp bed is equivalent to the parameter of bed. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. I think that this is probably the reason why. I don't, if I add this, yeah, variables look like they match now. So temp bed is equivalent to parameters dot bed, and then temp extruder is equivalent to parameters dot extruder. Where the one question the all caps, wait, like Zombie said, make sure those are all the same names in the slicer, the all caps ones. So params bed and extruder. Where in the slicer do you get the name used for the parameters? That's what I'm not entirely certain of. Is it underneath? Send it. Starting G code. So you're saying in the starting G code. Oh, okay. So there it is. So it's saying extruder in all capitals and bed. That's the naming that it's using right there. Okay. Okay, let's... Wait, I didn't save, did I? Now let's go device. Save and restart. I think we're good. I think we're good. Yeah, I'm gonna always use all caps for slicer variables and all lowercase for macro variables. Just so that way you can quickly see what you're referencing. Let's see. Okay, so it says it doesn't know what exclude object is, which is fine. SD card print file? Okay. So it's homing. I don't see bed temps at 0 and extruder temps at 0. Bed should be heating up. So it's homing at no temp right now. Okay, extruder's heating up to 150, but bed's not heating up. Don't we want bed to heat up as well, or is it not? Bed's not heating up. So you can't see this, but the extruder temp's working. It's heating up to 150 like we expected, but hot bed should be heating up as well, and it's not. It's at, wait, no, it says it's at 60, which is what it's supposed to be at. I'm confused right now. So it did climb. No, it's working. Everything's working the way it's supposed to be. I just didn't see a numeric value there, which maybe it was already at 60. Yeah, I think it was right. Okay, bed was already preheated. I think it was right. I didn't realize the bed was already preheated. That was why it threw me off. I saw 0 and I was expecting to see 60, but looking at the graph down, you can't see because of my face, but looking at the graph down here, it was already at temp. So everything's looking good so far. So we should be waiting to hit 150, which we're at right now. It's dropping in temp, cool. Now it should do a bed mesh calibrate, or no, it shouldn't do a bed mesh calibrate. It should do a Z-Tilt, then it should load the bed mesh, and then it should climb the rest of the way to the temp, and then it should start printing. Is there a bed mesh loader? Yes. Yes. Oh, I can check. Let's actually check to make sure that there is a bed mesh. Yeah, default. So it's got the default bed mesh. Okay, let's see if it's, you guys still won't be able to see it because of my face, but let's see if it starts to climb to 220. I think is what it's set to. Yeah, you let me know in the evening you want to take some time. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I appreciate it. I will definitely let you know. Okay, so it should at this point be done with everything, and now it should be climbing. Yep, 220. Sick. It's climbing to 220. Let's go! Let's go! I'm so excited. I'm super excited. I don't know that I want it heating where it's at. I might have it go to a corner or somewhere different as it climbs to temperature in the permanent macro, but because as it's heating up right now, it's going to start dripping down some ooze, which it's not ideal to have that right where it's going to be printing. Yeah, we'll camp it. Off topic, but chains are not. Yeah. You missed the conversation earlier. Steve let me know that the cable chains were on. Just the end pieces are incorrect on it, but because we're going to be going with CAN bus, we're just leaving it. But I did make a big, like, hey, if you're doing this, make sure you check the cable chains because the direction does matter of the ends. It's intended to make it where it's not putting as much strain on the cables inside. Hey, Peter, thank you so much for becoming a member. Cheers. Let's air horn and some cheer. Oh, we're extruding. Okay, we're not dragging on the bed. We are not, I repeat, we are not dragging on the bed. Move into the center. Hold on, you can't see what's happening because the hype is real. Let's see. Hey, it's sticking. We're not scraping and it is sticking. For anyone wondering why the bed looks awful, this is the bed of shame that we use after I destroyed it on my first 2.4 print because The offset was not correct, so we're using this before we swap over. But yeah, first layer is sticking, and it looks pretty damn good. Yeah, I'm not going to adjust it at all, actually, right now. Is that melted plastic? Where? What are we printing? Oh, it's a cat. Is there supports? Did I not turn off? Let's see. No, there's no support. Okay, oh, just the arms of the cat. I ordered 2 of the new revision beacon. Oh, nice. What is it, like Rev H? It's pretty cool. The new board is just a single board, and it also has an ADXL built in, and it has, what is it, better accuracy and even less thermal drift? Push the up button for speed. Wait, what? Less thermal drip, nice. Yeah, I'm super stoked that we are printing. I know I said we were gonna print, and I had full intentions of printing, but we certainly hit a few more snags than I expected, which at this point should be expected. Less thermal drift, nice. Yeah, I have had 0 issues with thermal drift, even in the VZBot. Granted, I'm mostly printing ABS and ASA, and I'm not doing like high temp polycar, but it's worked great in the VZ. I got one of those can beacon. Oh yeah, just for testing. I'm staying with Tap just because of the fact that beacon doesn't measure the actual. Yeah, I was offered one of those the sort of like beacon clone type things that uses an RP2040, and I said no, at least for now. I just covered the beacon and talked a lot with the developer of it, and it's a small business, and like I don't know, man. They put a lot of R&D and time into it, and I'm not saying that it's a one-to-one copy, but if it wasn't for the work of beacon, I can guarantee we wouldn't have that as an option. So I've also heard of issues with thermal drift on it. So yeah, for now I'm sticking with OEM beacon if I'm doing eddy current sensors. Yeah, the built-in accelerometer is really nice. I mean, everyone's got to do what's right for them, and I understand the beacon is not a cheap piece of hardware. And I mean, I purchased plenty clones when starting off. Like, I mean, I was getting like V6 clones back in the day for 15 bucks because I couldn't afford the $50 or $60 E3D V6. So I'm not, knocking anyone that's gonna do what you gotta do. But for me personally, I'm gonna stick with the OEM beacon. I ordered beacon, but they asked if I wanted to wait for the Rev H, but I have Tap in the mail, so we'll probably go Tap. I'd order an OG one for sure, but can't really justify it. It's way too much import fees. Yeah, no, I get it again. The print's looking really good. Like, I wish I could take you guys even closer. But the layers are stacking up really, really nicely. We'll bump it a little bit just for funsies here, because again, I've got only a few minutes left. Let's see, speed, it's 200%. I think 200%, is 200% the max? It looks like that's the max. I just went straight to 200%. Acceleration is going to be our biggest limiting factor on the size of this. The default config had it set to 3000 accel, which will definitely be bumping up, but I'll need to run input shaping and do some more tuning like pressure advance and all that. The print speeds are default for Orca. Which are outer wall 120, inner wall 200, sparse infill 200. The biggest limiting factor is again the firmware. The firmware set acceleration for this config was real slow. I have my Gato center. I have mine Gato center rear while climbing to final temp and run from left. Oh, I love beacon. Yeah. Beacon's rad. Beacon is definitely a cool piece of hardware. Hey, what's up, BBs? Oh, what's the Orca Max C? I think it's 250. I think 250 is what the Orca's... Is that right? I don't know what the what the max, yeah, it's 250 in Orca Slicer for Trident, 300 Max Z. I don't know what the max is supposed to see. Since January of this year, I can't order anything outside of Austria. Oh, that sucks. That's a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that. I guess, like, I mean, being in the States, I sort of take for granted how easy it is to get so many things, but I definitely know, because of how much of my audience is all over, you know, North America, South America, Europe, Australia, all over, that it's certainly not the case everywhere in the world. Well, yeah, we are melting plastic. Yeah. Yep. Getting the macro figured out was the last real sticking point for me. I run a lot of defaults of macros, so I don't, a lot of it's sort of voodoo magic for me. I haven't done, I know enough to where, like, if I go in and I need to tweak some things, I can, but there's certainly a lot of question marks, especially when I am not just actively searching Google. Oh, what's the max settable Z in Orca Slicer? I don't know. I don't know. Can I do triple digits? Or not triple, I mean, can you 4? It looks like 2,000 millimeters is the max value. I tried 10K and it dropped into 200. I mean, I'm sorry, I tried 10,000 millimeters and it dropped it down to 2,000 millimeters. Long day. Hope you have a nice Thanksgiving. Hey, thank you. You too. It's gonna be it's Aaron, me, and Jackson. We are making turkey. Aaron got the stuff. It's just gonna be Aaron and me tag teaming in the kitchen all day. We again, big turkey. We're gonna make some gravy with the turkey drippings and some flour. We are doing, Aaron's doing a green bean casserole. I'm doing mashed potatoes. We're doing steamed carrots. And then we didn't feel like we were gonna want or have the energy to make a pie, so we just got a pre-made little 8-inch pumpkin pie for us. Did you get the labels working on the label printer? Oh, I still haven't done it, Collie. I still haven't done it. I feel awful. He sent me it. I'm like, I just should have done it. What do you think about the stepper online motors included with the SIBOOR kit? I've been thinking of upgrading. I think they're solid. I mean, I don't have anything against steppers online. I looked them up. I mean, they're rated up to 2 amps. I don't know. I don't know what. We'll see. I'm not going to upgrade them until, if we're playing around with this and we start seeing some actual limitation caused by them, then sure, we can talk upgrading. But for now, I don't have any plans of upgrading. I've ran stepper online in my original V0 and I think one other printer build as well. And I've had pretty, like, I think they're quality stepper motors. Oh, that's too bad, Zombie. Yeah, 2000 is the top. So your 2001 printer, you'll have to use another slicer. What do you think of the bed leveling 2.4 versus Trident? What do you mean? Lots of things that limit. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, this does have a drag and high flow. I imagine we'll run into cooling issues well before we reach the motor issues, but if we go Zoll, that'll help. And because it's a Trident and the bed drops, we could essentially do something kind of like the VZ-Bot probably, where we have side blower fans if we wanted to, so we'll see. Yeah, Fabrico was going to send out one of those Zoll 2 kits like a week and a half ago, but I think he forgot, so I need to reach out to Fabrico and see if they can send them. If not, I'll place an order for them, but we still have some time. I want to run it stock for, again, 30 days. I'll get some footage of it, give some feedback to SIBOOR, and then we will yeah, go from there. So before I end it, which we're going to end it in just a couple minutes here, plans for the next couple of weeks here. So next Wednesday, we are going to be unboxing a printer that's been sitting in a box in the garage for longer than it should have been. It's the KP3S, Kingroom KP-L1. It's the Core XY Kingroom printer. I've had it for a while. We're gonna get it unboxed. So next week will be pretty chill. We'll set it up. We'll look at what's included with it. We can look at the electronics. We'll get it printing. We're just gonna run it stock. Then there's a handful of smaller projects that I kind of want to do between now and the holidays and the new year, which are going to be, I've got a V1 Big Tree Tech Nomi that I've had forever. And I was originally going to just make a stealth burner that sat on my desk and used the Nomi as sort of like a whatever printer I guess I'm using most commonly as like a status thing, so I can see it from there. But we're going to do the, it's called the Devil Burner, which is an upgrade for the K1 Max, the Creality K1 Max, and it's not incredibly functional at all. It's more just for looks. It allows you to use the Nomi and add LEDs to the toolhead. So we're going to do that. I want to finish the Snake Oil XY, which is the King Room KP3S conversion, which gives you like XY belt tensioner, better Z. It gives you, we've got a Sherpa Mini and a all metal hot end on there. So we need to finish that. I'd like to do that. And then I also want to install the Terminator toolhead from Big Tree Tech onto an Ender 3. So we need to swap the Ender 3 from V-Rollers to linear rail and then put that toolhead on there and install Clipper. And then in the new year, the things I've got lined up right now are going to be a SIBOOR Enderwire. We're going to be doing an Enderwire build. And then I was talking to Fabrico and we're going to do a K3 build. So those are the two bigger things after that. So it's the KLP1. Okay. Yep. Just don't use VZ Hex. Yeah, so we've got quite a few, and those are just the starting things. There's a few other projects in the background and as well, but those are the first initial ones. We're going to end the stream engineering. I'm supposed to end it 2 minutes ago. I don't like the filament rubbing on the extrusion. I know, I'm going to install the filament holder and the panels on this, but I just didn't want to do it yet. But yeah, this officially ends the Trident build series. I mean, in theory, we could do one more episode where we put the panels on and the spool holder and stuff like that, but I think I'm just going to put that stuff on, and then we will continue in the Trident probably in like sometime next year, in the first 30-ish days of the year. We'll convert it to Zoll and we'll convert it to CAN bus and play around with that stuff, which will be a ton of fun. So K3 depends. I need to talk to Fabrico and see when they want to do that, because it's sort of, they're sponsoring the kit for it. So it depends on when they have the inventory and when it's going to make sense for them. But I will certainly let everybody know as soon as I've got info. So I wonder if you have all the pieces for the panels, because I was missing a few of the panel mounts. Ooh, we'll see. We'll see. I've got a big bag of panel clips and stuff like that, but I'm probably going to go with the annex clips. I'll use what I've got because they're already printed, but long term, I really like the annex clips. I don't even know. I almost want to just do that right away. So we'll see. But the annex clips are awesome for the panels. Okay, I'm going to end it on that note. So I've got 20 minutes with Erin before she's got to take off to work, and I can watch Jack so she can get ready. But thank you, everybody, for hanging out. It has been a super fun stream today. We started off with some troubleshooting, definitely some laughs, and in the end of all, we are printing. And again, it's doing a pretty dang good job. I'll post the cat on Twitter or on in the Discord later so we can see it. But I mean, for not doing any E-step calibration or rotation distance and just running at stock, the cat's looking good. So that is assuring. If you are in the US, I hope everybody has or if you're somewhere else celebrating Thanksgiving, I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we will be streaming next week on Wednesday. I don't know what time yet, but as always, when I know, I will schedule it out so that way if you want to be here, hopefully you can make it. So on that note, again, thanks everybody for all of the laughs, all the support, all the memberships, the couple donations, and I will see you guys all next week. Cheers, everyone. Take care.